Hello. Now for something a little bit different today, I come to you from a basement where I managed, with the help of a friend, to haul a 1973 Yamaha 125 down a very steep flight of stairs to see if we can make anything happen with it. Apparently it's the classic story. It was sitting around in actually our local public works building for years and years and years. Then someone bought it, and I think they rode it for a little bit. Then it stopped working, went to someone else who was going to get it running, and it didn't get running, so I ended up with it, which is awesome. I love messing with this stuff. It's way too much fun. Don't be fooled. It's not actually a twin spark. The one is just a spare spark plug, so if you foul one, you move the boot over to this side and you run it off that. Only ever had a single coil, no double coil. The other side, it is missing one of the side panels, but we do have the oil tank, which is great. Seat still pops up. All your fun stuff under there. Battery cables, which have been electrical taped over the years in a fantastic manner. So I am going to let you in on something with this. I couldn't help myself to find out, I couldn't wait. I had to find out whether or not it had spark, and turns out, oh wait, watch this, we'll fix the seat right now. There we go, seat's fixed. There was no spark, not a surprise. Quick little sanding of the points, and I believe we have spark now. Cool thing about it, I was like, wow, it comes with the key. The key works. Awesome. Take the key out. I noticed something interesting on it. Let's see if you can see this. Can you see that? There you go. Yep. So this ignition's been drilled out. Yeah, this is my attempt at a backdrop to hide some of the absolutely fantastic mess. I forgot how widescreen the lenses are on these, so you know what? Let's just embrace the chaos, which is always. Ever try to give chaos an embrace? It's not easy. But when you do, the greatest hugs ever. Let's get back to this spark issue. I will pull this plug. You can see they're nicely in finger tight, and believe it or not, this was actually how I got it. Bunch of threads on that. There we go. The old faithful battery of Packins. One clip there, and one clip here. Oh, here's an interesting point too. Watch this. We'll start this on. Are you ready for it? One key flick, two key flicks. Look at that. We got a light, and I think we even have high beam, low beam. Where's signals? Signal. Back to. You can hear it's trying to actually do the thing, even though the rear casing is broke, the back bulb and everything still works. And I don't know how well we'll be able to see it, but if you pull the brake, can you see it on there? There you go. Oh, there's the mess. It lights up. Anybody see spark there? I know it's spark because I can see it from the other side. So there we go. It has spark. It should technically pop off if we just put a little fluid down the cylinders. I checked the gas tank. Hold on, let me get a flashlight here. Look, gas tank even opens. There's my flashlight. Found this flashlight swimming in the bottom of one of the Sea-Doos. Took it apart, resoldered some insides. Works again. How well you can see in there, but this thing is perfectly clean inside. I mean, this is cleaner than my tank, especially after what I had for lunch. Only problem with this tank, I mean, this bike is a complete survivor. Everything is there. Fender's there. Luggage rack is there. Bulb got broke somewhere along the way. But, oh, and it's missing side panel. Somewhere there. Look, the exhaust, the chrome on the exhaust, it's all there. But many dents in the tank, possibly from storage, possibly from being a cottage bike at some point in its life. Who knows? I don't know how to do dentless repair, so I think I'm just going to leave it because everything else about it is in such good shape. We have loose throttle-ish. I never put a big enough spring in this. Brakes are, we know the brakes work, they're rebounding a bit. Clutch is in good shape, it goes right back. Now what do we do? Do we preemptively rebuild the carb, assuming that it's full of junk from sitting for however long it sat for? Or, because the tank looks so empty, do we pour some gas in and try to start it? Well, we both know we're going to pour gas in and try to start it, because it's just what you do, right? I've got some 50-to-1. We're going to pour in there. I'm not super concerned with compression, although that may have been the issue with why it wouldn't run, or why it stopped running. We'll find that out the hard way soon. So it's on reserve right now. Let's turn it to stop. Okay, let's dump gas in it. Catch can, dumping can. Let's see what happens. Ooh, it's red. Does that mean anything? It's also how find out if you have leaks in your tank the hard way. Any leaks? So far, nothing. So let's see what happens here. We will go. Oh, I hear it already. Oh yeah, it's coming out of there good. So the petcock works, doesn't leak. What do you think? Should we just try it and see? How badly does it leak out around this carb when I do that? Oh, really bad. That would be why that hose clamp was on there so tight. Appears to be leaking out the top, because it's not coming out the drain, I don't think. Yeah, it's still coming out. Let's give her the old... That stopped it. Huh. Guess what we're doing? I think we're going to rebuild the carb. Let's do this discovery thing together. Ooh, nothing on this carb is tight. So, it's probably been through before, and either not very confidently put back together, or just given up on and thrown back together. Marriage tip here. Guess what women are not fond of in the bedroom? Auto-tune. Oh, well, this is just cool. Okay, so there's an indent in the bowl to match up with that. That's new. And that goes right through. That's a good sign. You can, I don't know if you can see that through there or not, but the jet goes right through. So that part of things is clean, whether or not the needle and seat, was it working? Yep. So let's see where we're at for other parts. Funnest thing is taking, oh wow, that's usually solidly in there. There's still a gasket that remains. I'm gonna go throw that in the ultrasonic cleaner just to see if it floats. And she does not. Wow, I shouldn't have been able to do that. Okay. Well, there's our needle and seat and an O-ring. Kabunk. Clean. O-ring seems to be holding. Now, is this the same? Can I actually, like... Nope. Yep. Shouldn't be able to do that. Everyone knows this. I'm not teaching anybody anything new. But this is always fun. Let's see how far they've got it out so we can make sure we match it. Not at all. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 1/4 turns. Remember that for no reason. So that's just the idle. And out. Ba-ding. And this one is... Sorry. 1, 2. Ooh, that one's just the 1.5. That's the factory reset. No, oh yeah, there it is. Hello? Mrs. Pommelhorse? Oh, there it is. Little spring came out with it. And that's the extent of my knowledge. Okay, goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. Not that I have knowledge, just where do you want to go next? How about we find the right socket or randomly appropriate wrench? What are the chances? Wow. So as you can see, nothing in this carb is tight. These all kind of give you a little snap to try to take them off. Nothing has done that here. It's clear. We don't know what these little side jets are. No, they're all plugged. So the idle circuit is not happy there. These all clogged. Oh, it's hard to see. Probably won't show up on the video. Look at me just talking away here. This is now a podcast. So there's teeny tiny holes all the way around this thing that help it keep it idle, and they're all, oh yeah, super clogged up. So one of the coolest things I've ever been given as far as tools go is this set of dental picks. A friend of ours gave them to us. His girlfriend at the time was a dental hygienist, and man, these things have just been invaluable. I love them. Okay, so far we know we need a new O-ring on that there because it's not sealing. So we got to remove this little clip here, and then we'll take off the choke. It's a half broken off clip. That's what it is. Okay, well, I'll figure this out. Oh, figured itself out. Oh, I am ridiculous. It's not. It just looks like it. I thought it was a broken clip. It's cotter pin. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still a broken cotter pin, so I'm saving my butt a bit and being a third right. Fourth right? Fourth right. That sounds better. There. So what you don't see in these clips is, well, a lot, because I don't know how many people even watch it. So you're the guys that aren't watching it, you're seeing nothing. Everyone else who showed up, hi. I have a crew of about 7 people working off camera to get all this stuff actually running for us. Never be fooled. We don't do any of this ourselves. It's all paid for. None of this is tight. Oh, look at that. In a nutshell, let's see if I've got everything or anything on camera here. That is your generic basic carb. We'll do an overhead shot. There you go. There's everything. Parts and pieces and everything. This is the one that I said was all gummed up, right? So I'm going to put my thumb over it here, and let's see. Yeah. Oh, there we go. We're starting to clear it out. See it coming out those little holes? Alright. There we go. Now it's going. So without that being cleared out, she won't idle. Ooh. Oh, there's this tiny jet here too that I completely forgot about. Look right up there. I don't know if it's, no, it's probably not. So right in this little hole, there's a teeny tiny jet that sometimes this screwdriver just fits. Nope. So I gotta go find my smaller one. This one's great because not only is it bent and curved, it's ground, so it's not even a flathead anymore, but it does the job. Look at that bend. Performance. There we go. Now this is the one that you probably lose 9 times out of 10. And let's clear this circuit out. Ready? Watch for the mist. All good there. Let's do a little digging around with the old pick. Pickety pickety pick. Pick pick pick. Alright. Now this has something interesting going on. I'm gonna hazard a guess that this is a homemade gasket or something somebody found around. I'm also gonna guess this bolt probably isn't the one that's supposed to be in here. I'm thirdly going to guess that it's probably no more than really finger tight. Oh, no, it was more. Not much, because you see how small a screwdriver I used to get it off? That should have never worked. Oh, joy of joys. Oh, there's a, oh, right, because it's a two-stroke. There's a jet in there, too. And that beauty is a mess. I'll get her just lightly cleaned off by hand here. Now, considering it's full of red junk, gonna guess. Lots of guessing going on. Oh, that's, what am I thinking? That's the wrong size altogether. Okay, I gotta go get my ratchet. Off camera, folk.
What do you need us to do off camera?
Well, I need you to get this thing working for me, because I just like to talk and be on camera. I don't actually have any knowledge of what I'm doing. Oh, well, brilliant. Shh, quiet, I'm getting close to the camera again. Oh, and I've destroyed this gasket around the outside. Oh, off-camera people. So the off-camera guys messed up the gasket, but we'll let them live. So, because I'm using the tools I have close to me instead of the proper ones, we're just gonna give this a little clampity clamp. There we go. And oh, right there. See, that's how they all should have popped. It was like that. Now let's see how bad this is. Oh, goodness. There's some gross going on there. Okay. See, the hole's not terrible, but we'll still blast it out nonetheless. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Go both ways so we know we're working. Like it's a sprinkler. Whee! Clean the threads up. Find a gasket for that, because that wasn't doing anything. Maybe take it to the wire wheel, clean it up. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, camera guy. I need you to wire wheel something.
What's the wire wheel?
Oh, too bad. Part of your job. Oh, the little wires, they're poking me. Yeah, that's usually what happens with that stuff. Here is bike parts, but I've got a box of other gaskets and O-rings and everything for all sorts of types of bikes. Mainly Honda. But let's see what we can find in here, if there's something that'll fit. Ooh, you will work well. Okay. So we're going to replace that Permatex or whatever gasket maker compound they used with a little rubber O-ring. Okay. On to the next pile. So I got a little bits of everything in here. Guess maybe go with this guy. Yep. Okay, found it. All right. So I'll remove this one. So it's supposed to be rubber, and it feels like plastic. Like, look, it just breaks. So we will replace it with this O-ring. Huzzah! There, brand new. And we'll do a check. Oh, look at that, right down in there. Ugh. Perfect. Okay, so we'll take this and this. And we'll do this. Are we getting spray? Am I able to do it without shaking? There we go. Oh yeah, good spray. Covered my phone, so you know it's good. Fancy to meet you. What size do you happen to work on? There we go. It's always nice to have a carb kit for a car kicking around when you're rebuilding motorcycle stuff. Oh, look at that. And now we'll do this. Oh, right, it's an air circuit. I probably should check the air circuit, shouldn't I? Blaster out here. Yep, it's coming right out here. Re-choking. I don't think so. There. Do that upright this time. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Back on it. This thing's got to be so brittle by this point. There we go. Choke on, choke off, choke on, choke off, choke on, choke off. So we have our tiny jet, our spring, our idle control, our air fuel, idle, or fast idle, low idle, pin for float, and needle and seat. How's needle and seat look? Pretty good. Staying and staying and staying, and I open it up. There it goes. Yeah, she looks good. Gasket's still good. Springing. So this one, I know it's good, but I'm still gonna go that extra mile and just make sure everything on it is cleaned out. And I'll just pick each of these holes here. It still sounds so crusty inside. Plug it with my finger on this end, and what do we get? Yep, we're flowing. So that is my main idle, low idle circuit jet. It goes right in there like that. Ding! That we discovered this was the right wrench for. Let's take our teeny tiny one before we lose it. And drop it back in there and use all roundabout here. Look at that. See, your tool doesn't have to be pretty as long as it does the job. Look at this. I don't know if you see up in there that big pile of goo. Let's knock that out before we put this back together. Good. Oh, what do you know? That was blocking the actual circuit. Well, see, there's a hole there now. These are the things that happen. So something came through this gas tank and clogged the inlet. Alright, well, we'll take that out. And we'll put this back in. I think this is the one I just took out with my fingers, right? Just did one of these. I'll go get my ratchet and tighten that up properly. And then the needle and seat drops right in there. And like an old composer, I'm Bach. Alright. Did the rebuild, got it back on there. Didn't hook the fuel line up because it's leaky, but the carb is full of gas. Battery's hooked up. And out of gas. Well, there you go. So we'll do more on this. We'll get it cleaned up, properly fixed up. The oil injection line is leaking, but I think the oil injector is taken off anyway. But that's why we're running mix. Got to get a piece of fuel line, take the tank off, check it out, go from there. But hey, we're a step in the right direction. perfect. And I made this whole video on a 2-stroke bike without making any references to my sex life. So, there you go. Pretty good, huh? I'm maturing. Bye. Anybody else really miss Humpty? Like Humpty danced Humpty, not like the guy that fell off the wall. Man, that one's a tragedy. Anyway, so back on the bike. So we had it started, right? See, the carb is just sort of hanging off again. I replaced the fuel lines and stuff like that. The petcock wasn't leaking, which is awesome. But I had a leak that I could not trace down in the carb. Tracked it, thought it was this bolt, found a nylon washer to put on, still leaked. Finally I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pull the carb off again and see what happens. So pulled it off, pulled the bowl off, all that kind of stuff, and filled it with water to see where the leak was coming from. And what I didn't notice was on the back side at the end of the bolt, where that little bearing is, was just an open hole. So at some point the bearing that was in there fell out. Now the great thing about working in and owning a bike shop is that I have lots of bearings around. So this is actually just out of a 1/8 headset. I had bearings floating all over the place here because, you know, organization. Tapped her in there, stopped the leak. See the bearing at the top there? That's for the choke, to stop the airflow. So you can see they really like to use bearings to plug holes on carburetors. We saw before this bolt has a jet in the end, and so we know that it's obviously involved with the fuel supply. So I put this in while this was off, and the one cool thing that I never thought of, and I will do from now on any of these bolts, is that the way the holes face obviously is important. So you can actually, if you do it with it off, you can actually line it up perfectly so you get the most amount of fuel down through, and obviously without a leak, to feed your carb instead of maybe having it like half closed or something like that, which could happen. So, you know, sometimes these little mistakes work out for us. So this is a like one of those emergency light batteries. Apparently you're not supposed to throw them out. Probably not the greatest thing to use, but they're $27. And for the amount of power this guy needs, and I will fix these later, but for now we loop that around, we loop that around, we have it fall off a couple times so it makes it look like we know what we're doing. There, they kind of jam in like that. See that? I don't know, can you see that? Is that in there? They're jammed in there. And then we go to the key and bing, neutral light. Now, just because I am that paranoid these days, we are going to double check for spark. Oops. If you've seen any of the CDU videos, you know why. Oh, we may have a dead plug. This is the fun part about old stuff. I had this one out yesterday and it still had spark, so let's see. Maybe that other plug is just done. Or maybe we've corrupted something along the lines here, which I wouldn't doubt, because that's usually my luck. Are you kidding me? There it is. Okay. We have spark. We may have a failing coil. It's possible. I mean, the bike is from 73, so that puts it at 50 years old. It's 50 years old. So now, of course, I have to see if this side is sparking too. Could even be the spark plug wire is just old and kind of shot. Oh yeah, we're back in business. You know where we go from here. Yeehaw, everybody's favorite little helping hand. Make sure my battery's staying in. Yep. Problem is, we're definitely out of gas. Well, dear viewers, I'm gonna check that out and see what's up. After showing my cool little battery hack, I realized something. Well, I didn't realize it, and then fighting with it as to why it wouldn't start all afternoon, I realized that it might actually be a 12-volt system. I assumed being 1973, Enduro, makes sense, right? They were all 6 volts. Then hooked up the old 12 volter again, thinking about the last time it actually worked. I don't know if there's gas left in it or not, but there we go. So, not a 6-volt system, 12-volt system. Makes it run a lot better. The craziest thing was I had good spark off that 6-volt battery.
Tim, give us a recap here.
Well, this bike came in, what, about a week ago?
Yep. Didn't run. You've gone through and done a whole bunch of work to it, rebuilt the carb, all that stuff, as people have seen over the course of the video. Now we've got it out in the back alley, and we're gonna give it a whirl. Got our big jug of juice here. I can't recommend these gas cans enough. These things are awesome.
You will make proper battery connections.
We've got lots of 50-to-1 left over from the Sea-Doo Misadventures and from Betsy too.
We'll give it a couple primes.
Oh. That was a solid start.
Not bad, huh? Bit of smoke because I'm running the oil injector and mix. So,
Oh yeah.
just be on the safe side.
Oh.
Clutch does not work.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna have to do a rolling start, is all. Yeah, it's still no clutch. Well, there she be.
So there you go, it runs. I think this is interesting evidence to say, you notice one thing that's been different from this than the kind of projects over the last little while, right?
Motorcycles?
There's no water involved.
Yeah.
So the stuff that's on land usually works. The stuff that goes by sea, we don't have the same sort of luck, but I think that's pretty awesome. So there you go, start to finish. Tim took a bike that didn't run, got it back up and running. A little bit of adjustment, I guess, is necessary with the clutch and stuff like that,
the
right?
plates stick, right? If it's sat for a long time, see how she restarts. Yep. So you gotta, unless it's not pulling the whole way. But that being said, too, I didn't adjust the clutch or anything. I don't think there's much adjustment left in the clutch. Oh, there's a bed.
Yeah, how long had it not run for?
Many, many years, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah, they've got the controls and everything all smashed into each other.
So minor adjustments will have to be made, but that's really not much, all things considered. A little bit of tweaking here and there. But awesome job, Tim.
Oh, we're leaking a bit.
Oh, there you go. All right, folks.
Coming out the overflow. Do you have a screwdriver?
I do have one in the shop somewhere. We'll go grab it. All right. Thanks for watching, folks. Make sure to tune in next time to see what we're up to. Click that like button, click that subscribe button, and have a good one.